World War II officially ended with victory parades and signed surrender documents. But long after the last shots were fired and the guns finally fell silent, thousands of voices were still waiting to be heard. They weren't the voices of generals giving speeches. They weren't the heroes you read about in the headlines. They were love letters, written from inside muddy trenches, on the decks of warships, and in bombed-out barracks. Many of these letters never reached their destination. Some of them stayed sealed, unopened for decades, carrying silent stories. During the war, letters were a lifeline. They were how soldiers stayed human, connected to the world they were fighting for. Mail traveled by trains, ships, and through military depots, all of which were prime targets for bombing. In the final chaotic years of the war, 1944 and 1945, entire sacks of Allied mail were simply abandoned during the rapid advances across Europe. Some were buried in the rubble of destroyed rail yards. Others were just misfiled, lost, and forgotten in the fog of war. It wasn't until 2013 that archivists made an incredible discovery. In a U.S. postal storage facility in Massachusetts, they found over 300 unopened letters written by American soldiers. They had been sitting there, untouched, since World War II. When historians finally opened them, the letters spoke of simple, everyday things: plans to get married, worries about family back home, and solemn promises to return. Tragically, many of the soldiers who wrote them never did. But some letters weren't just delayed, they were stopped forever by death. In Britain, letters written by RAF pilots who were killed in action were sometimes sealed and archived by the Air Ministry. Their families would receive the heartbreaking death notice, but not the final, loving words there. Son had written just days earlier. In occupied France, resistance fighters often wrote farewell letters moments before their execution. Some were hidden inside walls or under floorboards, only to be found decades later during building renovations. And in Japan, museums still hold the farewell letters written by kamikaze pilots. Penned just hours before their final takeoff, they were never meant to be read by the enemy, only by the loved ones they were leaving behind. These letters were never censored. They were never rewritten by history. They are raw, unfiltered truth frozen in ink. Wars are so often remembered for how they end the treaties, the new maps, the political shifts. But these letters, they remind us of why people endured them in the first place. It wasn't for glory or for territory. It was for someone waiting at home. These fragile pages survived bombs, oceans, and time itself, not to change the course of history, but to complete it. They remind us that behind every uniform, there was just a human being, writing to someone they loved. Thank you for watching. If you found this story moving, please consider subscribing for more forgotten histories.